All right, welcome everybody. This is my first day with Modern Horizons 3, and I was playing a game a while back, and I saw a really interesting combination of plays with, specifically with Ominous Traveler. And so I thought, what can I do with MH3 in Historic to kind of take advantage of some of the really awesome interactions that you can have with Ominous Traveler. And so I want to kind of walk through what I've done with this deck and to see if it will really kind of, help me play a little bit, in a kind of combo-ish way, because I really, really love combo decks. But let's take a look at this together. So if we come over here, excuse me, sorry about that. Let's go right here and let's take a look at the deck. So the first thing that I wanted to think about, is in Historic there are a lot of really kind of overpowered creatures, a lot of really, really big haymaker type plays, and so I wanted a small removal package to be able to take care of some of those things. So three Path to Exile. I don't usually need to go past about 4 mana, so I don't really think that giving my opponent that basic land is going to affect my gameplay a whole lot. Also in Historic, not a whole lot of basics being run. A lot of players get kind of greedy with their mana base. Lots and lots of uncommon, or not, excuse me, not uncommon, but non-basic lands. And so Path to Exile is my way of kind of answering those. Um, Built a small little toolbox for a couple of things, a couple of Skyclave apparitions for early game removal, things 4 less. This will take care of things like Shieldred. It'll take care of things at Mythweaver Pock, things of that nature. I don't even know if those if Mythweaver is in Historic, but it'll take care of kind of smaller early to mid game threats. No big deal. So we've got 6 cards set for removal. Um, Takasia's Welcome, I think, is going to be one of the first cuts that I make if if I see that this is not really bringing me a whole lot of value. But I think that it will, especially with the amount of in and out that this deck kind of revolves around. And I'll talk about some of the interactions in a moment. Recruiter of the Guard really just helps me to find the things that I'm after. Um, Pretty great card. I don't think that I'm running anything in this deck with a toughness higher than 2, so really this should be able to find me whatever it is that I'm looking for. Enchantment and Artifact removal. I've got Lord of the Third Path as a one-of. Really great toolbox creature. Also really great for grabbing another card if I'm kind of desperate for it. In addition to Lauren of the Third Path for artifact and enchantment removal, I'm also running to the Seiju. And again, not really worried about giving my opponent that extra land. Shouldn't be a big deal. Now, let's talk about some of the fun interactions in this deck. So, let's start with the first card, Guide to Souls. It works a lot like a Soul Warden, one of the classic Soul Sisters. But in my opinion, strictly better. Strictly better because it's got an additional toughness, so bowmasters can't take it out. Um, but also, it's giving me that energy whenever a creature comes under my control, which is pretty awesome when we think about some of the other interactions that we're about to have. Now, Philia, I've included as a 2 of. It does allow me to bounce something, either something of my own or something of my opponent's. If it's something of my own, I actually get a couple of really great benefits from it, right? The first is that I get that +1/+1 counter, which is awesome. But second, when it comes back in, God of Souls is going to give me that 1 life, and it's going to give me that 1 energy, which is pretty fantastic. Um, Now, Ominous Traveler, this is going to be taking advantage of that in and out bounce that we're getting from Guide of Souls. Ominous Traveler, when I cast it, Excuse me, not when I cast it, but when it enters, right? And that's important. Right? Some of these cards say when you cast it, some of them say when it enters. And this one's really great because it's when it enters. All right, I'm going to be able to draft a card from the spell book, and the spell book's got some really great cards in it. But we care about the things mostly that are 3 mana or less, and I'll show you why that's important in a moment. So there are a couple of cards that we could whiff on. Chances of us hitting all three of those on that draft when it enters. Wolfkin Outcast costs 6. We're not interested. This is not going to be a card that we grab with Ominous Traveler Spellbook. Next is going to be the Howlpack Piper. Again, mana cost is too high. Yes, it can't be countered, so in a pinch, maybe, but we're generally not going to be grabbing this card either. And then the last one is going to be Heron Blessed Geist. Again, mana cost is too high. It is 5, and I specifically want things that are 3 or less. So let's take a look at why I want 3 or less. Primal Prayers. When it enters, I'm going to grab 2 energy, right, which is great. I can cast creature spells mana cost 3 or less by paying 1 energy rather than their mana cost, which is awesome. If you see, all of the creatures in my deck are mana cost 3 or less. So once this is on the battlefield, I can cast things with flash just by paying 1 energy rather than paying their mana cost. This is a really, really awesome synergy interaction with Ominous Traveler and Guide of Souls, which is going to be pretty great. I was playing a few games with this, and you know, Arena limits you to about 5 minutes per turn. As long as you're doing things, you get your full 5 minutes. But once you start to stall out, you're going to get your timer rope that pops up on Arena. But with this, I can spend time casting, bouncing, recasting, all for 1 energy apiece, gaining an energy every time a creature card comes in, gaining a life every time a creature card comes in, and doing it at instant speed. So I can do this at the end of my opponent's turn. Now, some of the things that are pretty great about this Ominous Traveler is we've got several zombies in here that we really like to take advantage of. So we have this zombie cleric, all right, Archghoul of Thraben. When it dies, I can look at the top card of my library. Not really worried about that. If it's a zombie card, I can reveal it. Again, this isn't going to come into play. I'm not running any zombies in my deck, but it's a zombie which is important. Next is going to be Champion of the Perished. This cares about zombies. So Champion of the Perished, either of the other zombies come in, going to get a +1/+1 counter. Again, at the end of my opponent's turn, done at instant speed. Pretty awesome. And last is going to be Headless Rider, right? If this or another non-token zombie I control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature. Nice. Just a little token interaction. So far, this hasn't really come into play, but it's important that it's a zombie, right? We really care about that. And then Blade Stitch Scab. Again, mana cost less than 3. Other zombies I control get +1/+0. Interacts perfectly with Champion of the Perished. We want to take advantage of the synergy between Primal Prayers, Ominous Traveler, and Guide of Souls. Eternal Wanderer as a one-of, mostly for its +1 ability, being able to exile artifact or creature. Generally, I'm going to point this at something that my opponent has. This is really a late game one-of answer. Most games, obviously, I'm not going to draw it, but we have it there just in case. I would love to hear your suggestions about other toolbox things that I might need. This is also a card that is likely to come out of the deck as this deck starts to evolve. 2 pieces of removal if I need it. Iganjo is pretty awesome. A couple of planes, Besiju we already talked about. And then we've got, our package of dual color lands. I prefer the pathway over the temples, mostly because I don't want to be giving up any life. My mana curve is pretty low, so I'm not super worried about it. One of Restless Prairie, not because I think we'll be using it a whole lot, but maybe it'll be relevant in a few games. Not creating a sideboard because I typically only play best of one, but we can take a look here. Pretty low average mana cost at 2.7. Means I can have a lot of very early game interaction. Um, we're looking at 23 lands. I found that to be just fine with such a low curve. 19 creatures, a couple of instants, a couple of sorceries, nothing crazy. I really, really think that this deck is going to be a lot of fun. I want to get into some games, and let's get going. Let's see what we come up against here. I will tell you all that I usually make pretty hasty decisions when I play Magic. I usually don't put a whole lot of thought into it. I'm not really sure how I feel about this opener. One piece of removal, one creature card to get us started. Um, I don't love it. In fact, I pretty much hate it, but I'm going to keep it and see what happens. We'll see what the opponent is doing. Looks like we're maybe playing against Rakdos or Demir. We got our Ominous Traveler, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and start here. Depending on what that threat is that they throw down, we might want to use this right away. Mesmeric Orb. Awesome. So with this, if we can find our primal enchantment, um, untapping is not really going to be a big deal, which I think is pretty awesome. Um, let's see what we have here. We want to grab. We'll grab this. Give us that card draw that we're looking for. And Skyclave Apparition, non-token permanent. Yeah, that's a really great way to answer that. So we're going to do that. Um, yeah, we'll just resolve those. Sure, I'll mill a couple of cards. No big deal. Um, so let's take care of this threat first off. We're going to go ahead and Skyclave Apparition and target the Mesmeric Orb. And no attacks. Pushed on to our opponent's turn. Let's see what they do. See if they're going to cast another one. Oh, total value of 20. That's going to take a huge chunk out of my deck. Let's see. I drew. Let's see if we can't get us a. See if we can't find either one of our. That's not bad. I already have one. So let's let's pitch this forest. I don't think I need that. Um, let's see. We'll bring down the traveler again. See if we can't hit one of our zombies. No, we cannot. When it enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature less than or equal to the number of vampires. Well, I typically, typically only going to have one vampire, kind of at most. What did I cast down here? A spirit. Um, yeah, we will. We'll grab this. Um, no attacks. Nothing's going to get through on our opponents. We'll just leave that be. Our opponent, Leyline of the Void. I see what's going on here. All right. How about let's drop this land onto the battlefield and let's let's play this other ominous traveler. See if we can't get our champion of the parish. Still looking at vampires. Let's grab another one of these and see if we can't get. Yeah, we'll just bring this one back to our hand. Hey, that's not bad. Um, let's pitch this. No, let's pitch our pathway. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. I think we want to go ahead and take care of this, get that out of here, and let's poke in for a couple of damage. We will use the Beseiju next turn to go ahead and take care of this Leyline of the Void. We can use Coco at some point here, see if we can't find some of our toolbox things. Let's see. We're going to be milling 1, 2, 3, 8 things, and oof, that's a lot. And 19 cards, and we'll just resolve all of those. I don't think that we're going to be winning this one. We're about to find out. Let's see if I can. What can I do here? So let's get rid of that. And let me think a moment. And we really whiffed. We certainly did not hit. I probably should not have played Takacia's Welcome. I've got, what, 10 cards left? Oof. Not good. We're certainly going to be struggling to take out those last 11 health points. And there it is. That is going to be the game. We will go ahead and concede. Jace is going to mill us out. And we are done. Not a problem. Defeats are going to happen. Don't mind that. Sure, I had fun. Let's get on to the next game. And we will play. Let's go one more game. See if we can't find some of that really fun interaction that we're looking for. Excuse me just a moment. Awesome. Looks like Nissa. Is this going to be Nissa Shakes the World? Nissa that makes the big gigantic tokens. Okay, so we've got Recruiter of the Guard, which is great. This helps us to grab our Traveler right away. Philia and Takasi is welcome. This is going to be pretty good, especially if we can get a couple of interactions here with Philia. We can bounce the Recruiter. It comes back in, finds us another thing. Philia says, hey, thing came in, get a +1/+1 counter. Go ahead and draw a card off Takasi is welcome. Maybe this hand won't be too bad. And we also have one piece of early kind of removal, which is kind of nice. Oh, mulligan to 5. That's not great. Okay, attune with the ether. They're working off of energy as well. God of Souls. Well, that's a pretty great draw to start our game. Ooh, what is this? When it enters, get 3 energy. I hadn't seen this yet. That's pretty awesome. So we will go ahead and throw down and poke for 1 because it's always good. Oh, and he did take 2 from his stomping ground. What are we playing here? Another one. Yikes. Ooh, Primal Prayers. There it is. So let's we're gonna throw that down, and we are going to target. Let's target this. That's fine. We will we'll get it back. We're gonna draw our card, which is awesome. And we got that +1/+1 counter, which is what are we doing here? All right. Oof, Ugin. Straight off the bat, he's gonna exile everything. Each mana, yeah, there we go. Okay, so this one might be a wash. I really don't see us being able to get past him. Um, so let's go ahead and good game. Ugin is pretty tough, especially when they're getting it down on turn three. Was it turn three, turn four? Not great for us. Um, let's go one more game, and hopefully this one won't be nearly as tough. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of haymakers in historic. Ugin is certainly one of them. Don't think I had prepared for Ugin. Um, but this looks like a pretty good start. Um, Guide of Souls into Philia, into Recruiter of the Guard. Not bad. We are going to keep this. Let's see what our opponent might be playing. Is he playing Rakdos or is he just playing with those sleeves? Oh, wait. What do we have over here? We're keeping that. Karuga the Macro Sage. Okay. I know this deck. I know this deck. Um, Draw a card for each permanent you control of mana value 3 or greater. Oh, and he mulled to 6. Black. Okay. So let's see if we can race out to a big lead on this. Um, Black and red. So he's playing Rakdos. Well, he's playing maybe Grixis. I don't know if he's taking advantage of that green side of Karuga. Um, but we'll see. I really like Grixis decks. Grixis is my favorite color combination. Um, I've always liked Grixis a lot better than Esper. Um, and I've found myself playing a lot of Grixis combo decks lately. Um, haven't been able to play in person in a long time, but I have been playing on Arena for a while. And I kind of enjoy it better. It allows me to just not have to actually get up and go somewhere. I'm more of a homebody kind of person, but I do love playing this game. Actually, I've been playing it since Alpha, many, many, many years ago. Of course, I don't have any of those cards left. Those are long gone. You can be sure of that. We'll get this green on the board, and we will go here, gain our life. Let's go ahead and poke. We get this life from exile 2 cards, gain life, draw a card. So that's all he was doing, gain the life, draw a card. Not a bad play. I really think that he could have gotten more out of that if he'd have waited an additional turn. Whew. Alright, so let's get our overgrown farmland down. Um, we can probably take pretty good advantage of this. Yes, we are going to go after our ominous traveler. We are going to attack. This is going to target that. Get that +1/+1 counter, that energy, and that life. We will take action. And what am I likely to see here? Um, let's get a Skyclave just in case they play something that we don't really like here. Um, Non-land, non-token permanent, so that's always pretty good. At 4 or less, that's probably where we're gonna struggle. But we'll see. I do get to get down my primal prayers next turn, which is pretty great. And I can start taking advantage of this bounce right here. Nice dinosaur. Don't think it's gonna mean a whole lot for him, but we're gonna find out. Now we are going to play primal prayers. We've already got a little bit of energy built up here, so let's start interacting with this combo, really kind of seeing where we can go with this. Let's get this zombie. Let's throw this down. Um, Let's play this zombie. Now we're gonna be getting 2 life and 2 energy. That is huge. We'll go ahead and play this again. Start to build up a nice ball of energy. Let's get ourselves another zombie. Um, Throw it down for 1 energy, guys. 1 energy, and I'm able to start building up a board, which is pretty great. We'll grab this one, and we'll throw it down again. Um, Now, this having ward, not a whole lot we can do to deal with this at the moment. Yeah, we'll grab this. Not that it matters. Right now, all we're doing is we're trying to get to our champion of the parish. I haven't even gotten to our combat step yet, which is going to be pretty nice when it gets there. Again, you're always going to want to grab from this interaction. You're going to want to grab something 3 mana or less. Um, yeah, he scoops it up. He sees what's coming. Um, Pretty good. So that is my Selesnya Ominous Traveler deck. If you guys want to take another look at that list, I'll show it to you one more time. I know that you can always go back and just review the video. But here is the deck list for you guys one more time. If you want to take a look at it, let me know. What kind of suggestions do you have that should go into this deck? Probably Eternal Wanderer is going to come out. Takasi is welcome. Might stand as a one of. Give me another 2 tools for my toolbox. Collected Company might even need to come out. Maybe go down to a 3 or a 2 of. But let me know. We'll talk to you guys soon, and thanks for watching.